And hello, movie lovers. Today's the day. Today's the day that we're going to review Dexter Resurrection. Episodes 1 and 2. I have my good friend Jason Pitts with me. We're going to be talking about this. Matter of fact, we're actually going to be doing this whole entire after show. So I hope that you guys enjoy our thoughts and tell us what you think. And let's go ahead. Let's do this. And hey, Jason, welcome back to the show. It's been a while since I had you on.
Hey, John, it's good to see you, man.
It's great seeing you too. And I just want to say this, congratulations on the success that you have with your film. And if you want to, go ahead, do a little shout out for your film and where it's streaming at and all that other good stuff. This is your chance to PR it a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much. So The Forest Through the Trees, it's out. It's on Amazon Prime. You can rent it for $2.99. You can buy it for $9.99. It's also on Fandango at Home. Also available to rent and buy for the same price. There's also a new horror platform or app called Screamify, and it's $2.99 a month. And The Forest Through the Trees is on there as well. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot for you guys to digest and to be able to figure out what streaming services that you want to stream Jason's movie or buy Jason's movie. It's fantastic. I reviewed it. I actually interviewed the cast and crew from his movie. So go ahead, check it out. But now we're going to dive deep into Dexter Resurrection. And what I have to say is this. I like the fact that we open up to where Dexter is, laying unconscious, and then everybody that he killed in his past is out there. Like, you have Dokes that lines up basically just trolling him and he goes, what? I know what you're gonna say. I'm a creepy motherfucker. He goes, no. He goes, I'm just saying that your son needs you. I think that was kind of interesting on how they played James Dokes that way, where it's him that's telling him, hey, Dex, your son needs you at this very moment, because you know what to do to take down serial killers and stuff like that. But I also like how you have the Trinity killer that's putting the blood on his hands versus his hands and saying, hey, look, you're at fault for this. You're the reason why Rita died. You're the one that is responsible for Harrison, because you were trying to live this one life that you cannot live, because you can't live a double life when you're a serial killer. And the result is, at the end of the day, is your fault. And I just thought that was kind of a deep thing to actually have with everybody showing up. Even you have a little stuff from Maria when in the grave. And what's the other guy's name that I can't think of? The lawyer. Jimmy Smith's character.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith's character. Yeah, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I think he was like season 3, right?
Right.
Yeah. But man, it was awesome. It was awesome seeing those callbacks. They were a surprise for me. I got excited when I saw Dokes again.
I did too. I was geeking out over the fact that we have Dokes, and I knew he was going to be back, but I didn't know how they were going to do it. I wasn't sure if it's going to be like, okay, it's just a cameo for like a flashback scene or something. But it was good to actually have him in this moment of, hey, look, you need to be there for your son. But and then you have the stuff with Harrison. And I know that many people didn't really like Harrison or anything like that in New Blood, but what do you think of where he's at now, being in New York, and him being like the go-to concierge of this hotel and being this person who knows all?
I thought it was pretty cool. I think it fits. I liked Harrison. I liked New Blood. I know a lot of people didn't.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the father-son dynamic and trying to balance that with serial killing and teaching him, trying to teach him the code and everything in a weird moralic way. But yeah, I think it makes sense. Harrison working at a hotel, just trying to survive, and then can't stop himself from saving this girl.
Right. But also too, he's dealing with a lot of trauma too. What's that?
Yeah. I said, and then he gets himself into some trouble.
Right. But I like how he is having all this trauma, and then it goes to show that he's also doing the same thing that Dexter had when he killed that one kid in season 1, where Dexter was having that hard time of not feeling guilty about what happened, and this ghost like being of this PTSD that Harrison's having for killing Dexter. So it's very self-reflecting on how Dexter felt in season 1, and also whenever he kills the other guy for almost raping this girl that's just an innocent bystander who's just checked into this hotel. And I just like the fact that Harrison is trying to be who his dad wants him to be or trained him to be.
I don't think he's trying to be that person. I think he just found himself in a weird situation, and um, for self-preservation, used the tools that Dexter taught him, how to take care of a body and dispose of it. But I don't think he wanted to do it. I think he just like he didn't. I don't think he went into the room intending to kill the guy. I think he was trying to save the girl. And then when he realized that the guy wasn't going to stop with her, he just I think it was uh, like he just got mad. It was passion,
Right, crime of passion.
yeah, murder of passion. I don't think he went in the room intending to do it.
Right, because even whenever you think about it, like he didn't know what to do or anything because it wouldn't be considered self-defense, especially when he's going in the room himself after hearing some noises, and then of course the guy's like, "Hey, look, you're not even supposed to be in here. You need to get out." But at the same time, he winds up killing the guy. And even whenever you beat someone up like that with the back of the toilet seat, it's not gonna self-defense is out the window
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
point.
Yeah.
So him being in a panic, you're right. It's just him panicking and
And
stuff.
I felt like he was going to stop and let him live after he
Yeah, he
stopped him,
was.
until the guy said, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Right.
There's more girls out there other than her.
Exactly. But I definitely like the fact that Harrison is just this charismatic character that cares about other people rather than himself. And he doesn't like to see harm done to other people, especially rape and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really like how it counterbalances the difference between Dexter and him and stuff. And then also, too, it also winds up showing that, hey, Dexter would have actually done the same thing by taking down this guy if this guy said he was going to continue doing what he was doing as
Mhm.
well. So it has that kind of thing too, and I like how it's that echo in his ears of the flashbacks of how to dispose of a body and stuff like that. And he's making mistakes and stuff too. He's cleaned up the mess. He done everything that Dexter told him to do, but a little too well. All except when the kitchen area where he winds up having a little bit of blood on the ceiling tiles
Mhm.
and stuff, but that's about it. But I thought that it was really a cool scene to see how he's doing it in the way and trying to dispose of a body. I'm like, this is not good because yes, these guys can stop at garbage people are covering a big city area. At the same time, though, what if some homeless person winds up going into the garbage place, the disposal area, and winds up accidentally finding it? Or like the incident that happened where you have the workers who winds up throwing these bags and
Day road.
the body parts fall out.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. New York isn't. I guess Dexter would find like a ocean current to drop him in, like kind of similar to
Right.
what he does in Miami. But there's not a lot of other options when you're in a big city like that to get a body out.
Exactly.
I thought the trash was a pretty smart idea.
It was because that's what mafiosos do, garbage
Yeah.
compacting. but but let's talk about this too. Dexter wakes up and the first thing, and I'm also thinking the same thing too. I thought he was going to be handcuffed to the bed and he was going to be taken into custody by Angel.
Mhm.
And I thought there was going to be this moment of Angel, like, how could you do this, Dex, to betray me? All this time, you were actually the butcher, and you ended up covering it up on everything else. But they did it so smart, where it's basically when Angela winds up calling Batista at the end of New Blood, and then we have that moment with Angel and him, and he disappears, and Teddy winds up being the person that said, "Hey, look, Angela is the one who said that she shot you, which is cover up for Harrison shooting him." But and then she's actually shows a picture of her, and then he flips it over and he goes, "Well, now we're even." I'm like, would Angela really do that, or is somebody else covering this up? Did something happen to Angela? I was actually thinking maybe, and it's just a funny thing. I was thinking maybe Teddy might have done something, but I'm like, nah, it's just a small town cop. That's it. But what do you think?
I think it actually was Angela, but I think that it was almost like it was their way to write themselves out of the hole of bringing him back, bringing Dexter back, because it was their way of like retconning the end of New Blood. But so I mean that kind of doesn't fit the character, but it makes sense for the story. I don't think we're going to hear anything more about Angela. I think they're just going to let that go, and it was just their way of explaining why Dexter's still alive, why he's not handcuffed, why he's not under arrest, why Batista isn't like taking him in or whatever. So
Right.
it's just it's plot armor is what it was.
Right. But I like that though. I like the fact that, we're just as surprised as Dexter is. And even Harry's like, that's a good question, Dex. Why aren't they going to take you in? And then you find out that once you find out from Teddy, hey, look, you want to press charges against our police department for Angela shooting you. And you can definitely tell this guy doesn't want to do paperwork. Small town sheriff departments don't want to do paperwork. He's like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do paperwork. Okay, you're good, Dex. Have a good day. And then Angel comes in and he confronts Dexter with everything that Angela had told him and how conveniently that she suspects him of being the Bay Harbor Butcher, just as Lagretta did and just as everybody else did. And something always winds up happening to those characters. And he goes, well, what about Deb? Well, I actually... with Deb and everything, it was just me being guilty about what happened. I just had to start a new life over. So you had to kill yourself to fake kill yourself to actually have a new life. He goes, well, mourning after someone and grieving is, it does that to you. I'm like, but
I had to start over, get out of Miami.
Right. But I really thought that confrontation between Angel and him was really good. And then the fact that Angel's like, well, guess what, man? You're now resurrected. You're now Dexter Morgan. I actually performed the funeral service for you. And it's just that heart-to-heart moment of him bringing something back from Miami to give Dexter to eat, like Cuban food that he loves. I thought it was a touching moment between them.
It was definitely. But I mean, Angel's character is doing a really good job of seeming like he's a friend, but really still he definitely suspects Dexter of being the Bay Harbor Butcher. There's no doubt.
Right.
So
because if you think of it like this, Jason, like you can tell whenever Angel moves towards the door and he has that look of hesitance on his face.
Oh yeah.
And then he asks him again a couple more questions. It's like he has his guard up now because of the stuff that he found out. And he goes, well, why would Angela just make up that rumor and about you and things? And why would she shoot you? And he goes, well, I guess she was pretty pissed at the fact of whatever argument that we had to make up such a thing. And he's like, yeah, this story is not jumbling up. No. And then he goes, well, man, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I agree with Dexter, though. He only resurrected him and to bring him back to life so he can arrest him.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What else did you like about this?
So there's not like Angel's, it's not genuine, like his friendship. No. So yeah, it was kind of a tender moment, but it wasn't genuine on Angel's side. And I think Dexter's walls were kind of up too,
right, because even he says, he goes, you just brought me back to life, and he's saying this in his head, you just brought me back to life just so you can arrest me later on. And then the next morning, you also have all this stuff too where Dexter's actually doing rehabilitation for his legs, and he winds up finding out that about Harrison, about the bodies, about this one body that was killed in a hotel, and he goes, that has to be my son. And that puts him at trying to get to New York fast. And then you have him fake calling the hospital so that way whenever Angel came back the next day to visit him, that he can sneak out the door.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty funny that he pranks to call the hospital to get out, but it's like the oldest book thing in the book.
Look.
And even Angel picked up on it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And come on, 45 minutes to take a shower?
45 minutes in the shower is way too long.
Even if you're a nurse, you even have to question that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was weird that she just was like cool with it.
But that goes to show you the difference between small town living,
yeah,
and big town, and let's say like city life, right? Where it's like, okay, something's up with that, no, and then there's a small towns that, nah, they're good, they're fine, they're just taking a shower, it'll be fine
for an hour.
Yeah, for 45 minutes, they're good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought everything worked in this. Even
I wonder if the water would still have been hot after 45 minutes.
I think it would have, because going based off the hospital that I work at and stuff, this still gets hot no matter what. I wonder if it's based on how many patients you have though too, sharing the same line of water though.
I guess a hospital has to have a huge water heater.
Yeah, we do. We have a huge one.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really cool to actually see that. And then now you have Dexter driving over to New York, and he ends up taking this huge car that doesn't even go with him at all. He stands out. So but I like the fact that he's a father who cares about his son. So he doesn't care about trying to fit in. He's trying to get to his son. So he's not thinking clearly. Even Harry tells him, hey, you're not thinking clearly on anything that you're doing at all either. Yeah. What else would you say that actually works for you?
Man, I liked just about everything. There's one part that I kind of did question, and that's when Dexter first sees Henry from the car. Not Henry, I'm sorry, Harrison. And Henry, like, in his mind, Henry's all like, you need to go to him. Oh, Harry, yeah. He's like, you need to go to him. And he's all like, no. Harrison. Yeah, you need to go to Harrison. And Dexter's like, no. And in my mind, I'm like, I didn't buy that immediately, because he just left the hospital, traveled to New York. The whole point of it was to find Harrison and be there for him. And so the first time he sees him, he doesn't go to him or whatever. So I kind of didn't buy that.
Right, because basically he's thinking, well, I could have actually F up his life even more than what it is.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
And I'm wondering, like, why, like, what's the point of coming if you're not going to see him or talk to him?
Even Harry even does that too, though. He's like, well, the whole point of you doing this, Dex, is because you wanted to be there for your son, but you're watching from a distance and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And he goes, well, I'm trying to clean up his mess.
I did like that he was the one that found the blood on the ceiling in the kitchen, and not the cops.
Me too. I definitely like that.
He saved them.
That's what I like though too, is like the small attention to details that Dex still has, and him going through each thing. And he's right. There's actually a good cop that's actually on the heels of Harrison, and he's even noticing, even whenever he does that whole entire thing with the monologue in his head. And then the cop winds up reciting back exactly what Dexter's thinking. He goes, okay, just what my son needs. He needs a good cop. And he winds up taking the blood off of the ceiling tile, and in that. But I also like how they had the detective too looking at the bags. And it has that moment of being like a Boondock Saints kind of flavor, like William Dafoe kind of thing, and especially with these other two dimwit cops. And then you have one cop that's actually with her. He goes, just let her do her thing. And just as William Dafoe's just like William Dafoe, you have these other dimwit cops, and he's just letting William Dafoe carry the scene. And that's exactly what happens. She winds up putting on Staying Alive. She winds up finding the bags because they're tied differently than the other bags that they have out there. And it links everything back because of the fact that they found the body linked to the person who's staying in the hotel. And I thought it was really cool on how they did disposition of everything, about how they did that.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I think she's a very interesting character. I think already there's been a lot of character development with her. She kind of feels like a Sherlock Holmes, like genius type character. So she's gonna be a thorn in both Dexter and Harrison's side going forward, I'm sure. But very cool character.
I agree. And then you also have where we actually are dealing with a big time serial killer in New York. The two known as the Dark Passenger.
Which
and Dexter doesn't like it.
He hates that.
Because I didn't think about trademarking my alias.
That pissed him off so bad that he basically like puts Harrison on the back burner completely.
Right? And it's like, okay, I need to go after this serial killer. Yeah. Never mind my son. He's in good hands. But I hope they don't do that where they put Harrison in the back seat and it's all about driven to the serial killer that he's trying to take down.
Well, like just from my perspective of my understanding of what the trailers for the future of the show looks like, it looks like we're going to get into a lot of stuff, a lot of different stuff. I feel like there's a lot of serial killers in New York.
Yes. And they're actually for hire because of Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
So I definitely thought that was pretty interesting too. We're actually introduced to Uma Thurman's character, which is Charlie, who's recruiting these serial killers, and we don't know why they're recruiting them. And you know what, though? It'd be cool if they're actually the ones who are recruiting the Dark Passenger, and therefore Dexter can't really do anything because of the fact that there might be some rules and stipulations as to why he can't take them down because of Peter Dinklage.
It almost feels like a serial killer John Wick thing.
Yeah, it does.
With the Continental. I wonder if the hotel is going to end up being part of the serial killer network.
That'll be interesting. It's like, okay, what kind of weapons do you have? I have a scalpel. Okay. You know, scalpels, no weapons in the hotel, no killing other serial killers in the hotel. So welcome to Slice of Pie.
Right.
Hotel.
Slice of pie.
But still, I mean, I enjoy seeing how everything's coming together for this. It's making me wonder, like, why is Peter Dinklage doing what he's doing? Does he have these people that are serial killers, and why are they for hire? And what's his end goal for this?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm trying to think if there's...
How does Uma Thurman fit into all that? Like, is she just a henchman? I mean, that's a pretty big name for her just being like a henchman. You know,
there's got to be something more to her than that.
Absolutely.
But then you have Blessing Karma, which is actually the Uber driver that Dexter winds up meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the back and forth between them. He's like, I don't trust this guy because anyone that gets in my car. He goes, we have a serial killer, right? He goes, no, I didn't. You know what they're calling him? What? The Dark Passenger. And
Dexter's like, excuse me?
Right.
What'd you say?
And then he decides he's going to get a job as an Uber driver.
Right. Just to hunt this guy. he found him pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the fact that he found him quickly, or did you want a little bit of a lead up?
It made sense. I mean, Dexter's always been a pretty good detective. He's really smart. I think it made sense, and it also is just like the beginning of whatever this journey and this story is going to take us on, because I have a feeling these first two episodes just set so much pieces into place that I have a feeling it's going to be very, very complex going forward. You have this cop, you have Uma Thurman, you have this new serial killer, you have Batista, you have Harrison. I mean, and then Dexter himself. I mean, there's so much that they are setting up that is all going to probably come together. I think that dragging out him finding the Dark Passenger, I think would have been a bit of mistake. It makes sense that he found him so quick because of his experience as a detective, and for the story to get it going. So
right. And you're right, though. If it's too much of like a detective kind of thing, like Dexter's actually being a vigilante Batman in a sense, trying to find the serial killer, I think it would actually take people out of it. but the fact that he was actually so smart that he actually winds up finding the guy right away. And then I like how he winds up saving this other person's life because that serial killer was going to go on ahead and go into that Uber. And Harry's like, well, Dex, that's surprising. Usually you're wanting to kill the person right away. And my first thing is this: there's security cameras all around New York. So you can't really kill anybody in New York. You can't really dispose of a body, like you mentioned, right away. You have to have more of a strategy on how to take someone down versus how you did things in Miami or how you did things in that small town that he was living in. You have to have a go-to plan. Otherwise, it's going to go awry. So, it was about him saving that person's life. But at the same time, though, what's the initial plan that Dexter has to do to carry it out to where he can kill the serial killer? Is my initial thought.
I think it's going to end up being him baiting him. Like he's the guy's going to eventually get into his car, and then Dexter's going to be ready for him.
Right. That would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's why he also has a whole entire network where the serial killer works at. So that way, whenever he does have that set up, he can go ahead and get him into his Uber and kill him. So yeah, that is very smart. But I like also too how he's gonna wind up asking Blessing's friend about what happened to him inside the car, and why did he let him live and how he did it, and all he has like a piece of his ear missing.
Yeah.
So I liked how he used how he ended up surviving it, and to tell Dexter the story. And I like how he winds up telling Blessing, he goes, look, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to be an Uber driver, I need to know what this guy might look like, how and what happened.
For my own.
And right. And I also like how Blessing is just opening Dexter with open arms, not even questioning anything, and giving him a place to stay. And I like how the wife goes, yeah, and friends also let some pay the security deposit and also the rent on time. So,
that's great. Yeah, I have a feeling that a lot of Blessing's family probably isn't. It's not going to end well for him. I think he's going to get. I think he's collateral damage in the crossfire of wherever this leads.
Yeah, I could see maybe this one of the serial killers killing Blessing, while Dexter's actually trying to protect them and try to be straight and narrow like he normally tries to be.
So I feel like this is just my speculation, but I feel like he's going to kill the dark passenger pretty quickly, probably in the next episode, or definitely by the next 2 episodes, and that's going to put like the dark passenger disappearing is going to put Uma Thurman and Peter Dinkley, like it's going to send like red flags up for them, and it's going to put Dexter on their radar. I think is what's going to happen.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about Harrison a little bit more as far as predictions go, as far as things go. Sooner or later, they're going to have to put Dexter in the crossfire of him confronting Harrison. And he needs to be there for Harrison because he's going through a lot. He's going through not just killing his father now, but also killing somebody else, and also dealing with the pressure of the cops. And then he's also dealing with this girlfriend that he has now too. So you have everything, a lot of anxiety for this kid at a young age. But
yeah, I feel like he's also seems to have a lot of pressure from his bosses too. Like they kind of shit on him a lot.
They do, and he's actually the go-to concierge person who can get the customers that you end up checking in what they want. And Harrison also, I like how he said, "Look, I know a person that can actually fix your watch." And then he goes, "Man, you did a really good job of getting this kid." He goes, "Well, we hire the best." I'm like, "You're shitting on this guy as soon as your customers walk off."
Yeah.
And he's also staying, even though Harrison's staying the night in different hotel rooms and stuff. But I thought it was pretty neat on how Harrison's crashing at different rooms. And there's a lot of blind spots in this hotel. That's supposed to be this big fancy hotel, but there's a lot of blind spots within the hotel.
For privacy.
Yeah, for privacy. But it's like, dude, you're crapping on him. You have a crappy security system.
Yeah.
It doesn't do jack crap to help protect your customers. It allows things like that to happen where Harrison had to step in because you're a crappy hotel who was supposedly supposed to have a 5-star rating, which probably has a 3-star rating if you look at Google. But I just like the fact that there's so much attention to detail within these episodes of setting up the security cameras and then setting up how the schedule for the cooks are and things like that, and how Harrison and them have a great established relationship in the hotel and how they have his back. So I just think that it was perfect, like a playground for Harrison to have this
Absolutely.
job.
Yeah.
And have this built up confidence and this putting up a mask like Dexter would in Miami Metro.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's a good place for him to kind of hide and thrive as well. That was one other thing that kind of I questioned is Dexter just seems to have free reign of the hotel, like in places he shouldn't be in, and everyone's just cool with it.
Right, because if you think about it, the kitchen would actually be locked.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be able to do that. And then you also have him going up the staircases to the hotel room where the murder happened. But yeah, it's like open season for Dexter. Anybody else is like closed off too.
I mean, he walked into a full kitchen with everybody working and looked around, and everyone was like just ignored him. Like I was like, what?
And especially with being from New York, it'd be like, what are you doing here?
You're like, get the hell out of here.
Playing that.
Yeah.
Now, small town living like where Teddy lives, yeah, they'll be like, what you do? Oh, yeah. That's just Dexter. He's just friendly with everybody. Come on in. But yeah, with New York is like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah. So other than that, though, I mean, I think the show is good itself. I think that it's off to a great start. I can't wait to see what Peter Dinklage has in store for us, and also doing a deep dive into Uma Thurman's character and stuff like that later on within the series. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see the confrontation between Harrison and also Dexter. I'm wanting to see more from Angel and see if maybe that car that got locked up in Impound comes back to bite Dexter later on. This is actually linked to that small town. So I'm wondering how if they're gonna bring that up later on. I don't know, but still, great start so far.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous start so far. I think it's I'm rating them really, really high, up there with some of the best episodes of Dexter from the first series. I really enjoyed both episodes, and I'm excited to see where it goes. For sure.
Me too, as well.
I love Dexter, man. I would love. I know he died but I would love if Joe from You like makes a cameo. I mean, they're in New York.
Well, actually, Joe is still alive. He's in prison. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought he died.
He's in prison. They actually put him in prison and stuff. So. That would be great, though. Here's the thing. I've actually done like a podcast episode a couple of years back, right? Where I said Joe Goldberg versus Dexter. Who would win?
So awesome. I think Dexter would win, but it would still be fun to watch.
Right? But you know what else would be funny if it's like all these characters after Joe Goldberg?
Yeah, that would be funny.
Maybe that, but still, that's just fantasy. It would be great. I would love to see it.
I would too.
Everybody inside a Dexter group that I'm in was actually talking about that, wanting stuff like that to happen, have like a shared universe with you and have Dexter face off against Joe Goldberg. But still, I don't think it's going to happen because the rights being Netflix. So yeah.
Yeah, but it would be so cool.
It would be.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I would want if they did something like that, I think it would have. I think I would want it to be like maybe some like in the past kind of, and have Deb like Joe fixate on Deb, and then Dexter. That'd be so cool.
And then Dex has to go in and try to save her, just as he had to save her from her brother. That'd be funny. So
I think definitely Joe's like the bad guy and Dexter's the good guy. If that ever would happen.
I would actually pay to watch that, to be honest with you. They need to do something like a little limited series of something like that.
It would be fun.
Just to please us. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be it as far as this review goes for Dexter Resurrection. We'll be back again next Sunday, 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, to be able to talk about this. Thank you again, Jason. It's a pleasure, as always, to have you on my show. And guys, going ahead, check out his film. I'm going to put the links below where you can follow Jason to go ahead and stream his movie and all that other good stuff here later on. So, guys, always until next time. Bye-bye.
See you later.
See you guys.